Welcome to the Passover story. A long time ago, in a place called Egypt, lived a very mean and unfair king. He was called Pharaoh. The Israelites had been living in Egypt for 400 years, but Pharaoh was afraid that one day one of them might grow up to become king instead of him. He did not like this thought one bit, so he made all the Israelites slaves. They worked day and night building cities in the hot sun, with no breaks and no rest. Pharaoh decided that he would make a rule that no Jewish boy babies were allowed in Egypt, so that none of them could grow up and be king, taking his place. Meanwhile, a young Jewish woman named Yocheved heard the rule about no boy babies and got very nervous because she had just given birth to a beautiful baby boy, and now she would be in big trouble if Pharaoh's guards found out about him. So Yocheved came up with a plan. She decided to put her baby in a basket and hide him in the bushes along the Nile River among the reeds. She asked her daughter Miriam to watch over the baby to keep him safe. Meanwhile, Pharaoh's daughter Batya was taking her morning bath in the river when all of a sudden she heard a cry. Wah! Wah! She looked around, and what did she find? A baby floating in a basket nearby. Batya thought, I can't leave you here all alone, but I don't know how to take care of a baby. If only there was someone to help me. Just then, Miriam, who had been watching nearby, came out of the tall grass and said, I can help take care of the baby, and I know someone else who could help as well. Batya agreed. Miriam and Yocheved could take care of the baby until he could walk and eat regular food. Batya decided to name the baby Moses, which means taken from the water. Moses was raised in the palace as an Egyptian prince. Many years later, Moses sees the Jewish people working so hard every day and every night, and he sees the Egyptian guards treating them so badly. Moses is saddened by this, and he decides to take a walk into the desert to clear his mind. As he walks, he begins to hear a voice. Moses follows the voice, and much to his surprise, it leads to a burning bush. It was the voice of God. God tells Moses that the Jewish people are his people, and that it's his job to save them from the evil and harsh ways of Pharaoh. Moses decides to go back to the palace and have a talk with Pharaoh. Oh listen, oh listen, oh listen, King Pharaoh. Oh listen, please let my people go. No! Moses returned to the palace and asked Pharaoh, please let my people go. When Pharaoh refused, Moses tells him, if you do not let my people go, there will be big trouble and bad things will start happening. Of course, Pharaoh did not listen, and one day the bad things started happening. First, all the rivers turned the color red, and fish got sick, and no one could eat them. Moses told Pharaoh again, oh listen, King Pharaoh. Oh listen, please let my people go. No! Pharaoh still refused, and when he woke up in his bed the next morning, there were frogs everywhere. Frogs here, frogs there, frogs were jumping everywhere. After the frog came the locusts that ate all the crops and vegetables. Then it rained really hard, causing the rivers to overflow. Animals got sick. The Egyptian people all got sick. There was darkness for days and days. Each time another bad thing happened, Moses warned Pharaoh. Oh listen, King Pharaoh. Oh listen, you let my people go. No! Each time Moses warned Pharaoh to let my people go, Pharaoh continued to refuse, and more bad things would happen. Until one day, Pharaoh finally had enough. Okay, okay, okay. I will let the Jewish people go, but go fast before I change my mind. Moses and his people ran home to gather whatever they could as fast as they could, and with no time to let their dough rise, they put it in their backpacks on their backs, and it baked in the hot sun, turning into flat matzah. Moses and his people traveled the desert for many days and nights. Towards the end of their journey, they came upon a huge body of water called the Sea of Reeds, and they could not cross. Oh no! All of a sudden, the Jewish people heard Pharaoh's army behind them. They had changed their mind, and he was coming to capture them and bring them back to be slaves in Egypt. Moses heard God's voice telling him, "Use your staff to part the sea." So Moses raised his staff up high into the air, and God caused the sea to split in half, forming two huge walls of water on either side. The Jewish people quickly walked along the sandy bottom all the way to the other side of the sea. Once they all reached the other side, the sea closed. Whoosh! Now they were all safe on the other side and free. Miriam played her tambourine, and everyone sang and danced in celebration that they were now free from the terrible rule of Pharaoh and the Egyptians. Dai-dai-enu, 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 dai-enu, 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 dai-dai-enu, 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 dai-enu, dai-enu. Woo! The end. I hope you enjoyed the story. Happy Pesach!